Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Dead or Live on the Dead or Full Spectrum channel. It is our Sunday night show. We are here live with you, Mr. Ken DaCosta from the great state of Rhode Island, and myself, George Lopez, here in Florida. We are simulcast with KGRADB.com, KGRA on Facebook, and on YouTube. We thank you guys for joining us tonight. Happy Halloween month.
We're getting there.
We are kicking it off already. We're excited to do this, and we've got a lot that we got to cover tonight. That you guys, I think, are going to kick back and really have a lot of fun and enjoy. Our good friends and Dead Air family members, Cody and Satori, are going to join us, as well as our producer Bill Forte, because it is all about family during this holiday. Ken, it's about family getting together and enjoying ourselves and having a good time, and that's exactly what we plan to do. Don't worry, we are still going to get into some topics paranormal wise tonight. We have Bill Bean coming up, a demonologist, in about 3 weeks, and we'll cover a lot for you guys, things that you want to experience and enjoy during the month of October. So stick with us, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget also the reminder bell for upcoming content and that thumbs up. Very important to click on that also. If you're first time joining us, welcome to our chat and welcome to the show. And Ken, I survived.
You did. You went through a thing down there over the last week, and good to hear that you and Pop, other than a few limbs and branches and some things blowing around, managed to get away relatively unscathed. The unfortunate part is, a lot of people in Florida did not, and it's going to be a long and tough process for them to do that. So, from me up here, what do you do? Thoughts and prayers and et cetera and so forth. It doesn't seem appropriate, just thoughts and prayers, but, just hoping that everyone is safe with a minimum of casualties, or I'm sure that there's still a lot to do and a long way to go yet before we know the true devastation that hit down there. But all we can do is just wish you the absolute best, and if you're here and listening to us or within the sound of our voice, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, and I mean, that is the very unique thing about Florida. Somebody that each of you know lives or has lived in Florida. It's that transplant kind of a state, transient, and when you have something like this, it's catastrophic. It kind of becomes a national situation, as it is in national news. But so many people asking and sending messages and wondering how we are doing, as Ken said. And Ken was the first one to start popping text messages like 3 days before the storm, which Ken doesn't understand. But Erin Bush, who also corresponded with me, she's in chat, said, how you faring? But Ken did it 3 days earlier. And I'm like, well, the skies are blue. It's a beautiful day. There's no humidity, because everything was being sucked into that vortex known as Ian. And so we had a beautiful few days, and then absolutely 4 days of flooding and high winds, and, like as he said, debris blowing everywhere. Finally did the cleanup today, and other than that, didn't lose electricity. No apparent severe damage to the property, so we were very, very lucky. A good friend of ours, however, was not so lucky A good friend of the show and a star of the Dead Files, Steve DeShavi, actually lives in the southwest corner of Florida, and he took some damage, and both property and physical damage. So if you guys happen to spot him on Facebook, social media, just send him well wishes. We're always thinking of Steve and his wife, and hopefully everything will work out right now in the long run. So we'll wait and see.
Right.
So that's where we're at there. So Ken, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what we're planning on doing tonight? And I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we decided, as we do from time to time, we always have a little bit of fun here. We like to inject humor into what we do and not take ourselves too seriously. And above all, we hope that we put on a good show and it's entertaining for you as well. And along those lines, we thought tonight would be a good idea to bring a couple of our friends in who really are known for, having a good time, their personalities. So the show is going to be split into two parts. In the first part, we're going to bring on our guests and they're going to talk a little bit about what they've been up to recently and some of the additions to the museum of haunted objects and oddities they have, some new items. And in the second half of the show, we're really going to turn it loose and have the first installment of Paranormal Game Night here. George and I and our guests will be participating in this, and we've set this up today, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And in some cases, you might actually want to play along with us. So I'm looking forward to that. But we thought it would be a good way to kick off the Halloween season. Have a little fun.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I always bring up something that I'm watching, I'm viewing, and I didn't even know it was out since April. I just found this through TikTok to check this show out. You're into the paranormal. You're into the best way I could describe this show is a better version of Lost, at least the pilot season. It's called Outer Range with Josh Brolin. As you see, that's on Prime Video, and highly impressed. Lily Taylor, I think is her name, Ken, the one that played Carolyn Perrin in The Conjuring. She's in this.
I
Just
believe so.
fantastic cast, fantastic acting, music, editing. It's just and it's all set in Wyoming and beautiful, beautiful video. So make sure you guys do check it out. I'm watching that, and of course House of Dragons, which is moving way too fast for me. I mean, they're jumping 10 years at a time per episode. It's really kind of screwy, but I'm trying to hold in there. And I want to definitely see whether or not it's going to live up to its predecessor, to say the least. Um,
I found an old show actually going back to maybe middle the middle aughts, maybe 2008, 2007, along there. It's called Missing Link, and it's a Canadian-based show. It's one of these paranormal documentary type shows, not a paranormal investigation show. Um, Nothing like that. It's not a procedural show, but they talk about different aspects of the paranormal. And what I love about this is they give both sides of it, how this could exist, and then they give a rational explanation for it. It's very, very balanced. It's something that I found on streaming, actually, on Roku channel out there. So if any of you out there have cut the cord and decided to go to streaming, you might want to look that up. I'm not sure when it's on because the programming keeps changing. I think it's on Haunt TV is the channel on Roku. But I found this thing the other day, and it has kind of like this sightings. If you remember that show from the 90s, that kind of vibe to it, where they kind of take critical looks at these things. And it's something that I appreciate, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you will as well. Maybe you can find it on YouTube too, but it's called Missing Link. And I've never seen it before. I thought it was phenomenal. So, you know what I mean? Every once in a while, you find a diamond in the rough out there.
I thought the only thing you watched was Patriots games. I don't. I'm mistaken.
I wish.
Well, I tell you what, we got a lot to cover, especially in that first hour. Again, we'll be talking with our very special guest tonight, paranormal in the first, and then we're going to have some fun in the second hour, guys. So kick back, relax, get your favorite beverage, and Ken, let's get this show started.
Okay, right now, this is a couple that needs no introduction. And if you have been anywhere where they have made appearances, and they're really traveling all over the country now, just recently out in Michigan, and you can see them every other Thursday on Dead Air Full Spectrum, our own channel, live from the Haunted Museum. And they've made quite a buzz in the paranormal field with their sessions and some of the techniques that they're using, which are groundbreaking right now. A lot of our viewers are probably familiar with them. And we'll get into specifically one case that we just did just a couple of days ago, to be honest with you. And there's an interesting clip from that, and we'll set that up and give you a chance to sort of listen to it, look at it, and tell us what you think before we tell you what we think. So without further ado, let's bring in the paranormal couple, Cody, DesBiens, Satori, Hawes. There they are.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel like I just jumped back in time to old Dead Air blockbusters.
I thought that was happening here. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
No, that's just a bunch of people behind me here.
We've piped into the chat room, so that's from everybody in chat saying hello.
Oh, hello, everybody.
You
How
sound
are you?
wonderful.
Before we get started with this and the things that Ken wants to talk about with you guys, I want to at least give you a forewarning that I have a couple of gripes with the two of you tonight.
Oh, jeez.
And I already made Ken aware of it. He said, "Yeah, you want to go down that route. That's important. It's certainly something to go with." So, but Ken, I'll get you started first. So go ahead.
Yeah, the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, a lot of people are probably well aware of the Museum of Haunted Objects and Oddities that you have, and you've established this now for, over a period of however many years. And you do travel with it, you do take it out on the road, but you're always getting new things that people send you as this sort of, blows up. So kind of a two-part question. Did you ever see it growing to the magnitude that it is now when you started this? And second of all, what's new? What do you have for people out there? Because I know that you get a lot of things mailed to you, some pretty weird things.
Yeah. No, we definitely do.
We do.
Well, to attack the first part of that, absolutely, we did not expect this to grow as much as it has.
Nope.
I mean, the whole museum started off as an accident in itself. I mean, I had a few objects that were claimed to have some sort of activity with it before I met Satori, and while I was investigating and things like that. But once I met Satori, of course, we started our TikTok channel, and once in a while we would throw in a video about some of the stuff we did have at the time. And those are the videos that really stuck, and people wanted to see more of that type of thing. And so we started showing more and more, and kind of focusing on that. And then people started sending us stuff, and it's definitely grown to we're getting packages every single week now. We're communicating with people who claim they have objects, and trying to work with them to keep their objects every single week, because that's not the end goal, is to build the biggest and best museum out there. It's just to help the people. That comes first and foremost. And then secondly, if they don't want their object, and they want either a temporary safe place or a permanent safe place for their item, then they have this option.
And then we've started to find out that with all the items we have, a lot of people like looking at the weird stuff we have because we've taken it in from those that don't want it anymore, or they just want it out of their home for a short period of time. And everybody's like fascinated with these items. So we've been displaying them, and it's been a hit, actually. We're kind of having to figure out a kind of setting situation where we're going to have items in a location where people can come and tour them, hopefully really soon in the next year.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Right. And one turn that happened that I probably didn't expect at the beginning was that people would send us things to keep, a loved one's memory alive, or just to share their story to other people, share their paranormal experience with a certain object, just to make awareness to the situation that, this is what happened to me. I now believe that there's something after this life on Earth. It affected my loved one. It affected myself. And here's the object that was the catalyst to this whole story. And like one of the most recent things that was sent in was these rosary beads here. They're not haunted themselves, but they're involved in a paranormal event.
Yes, very much so.
And I mean, if you want to hear the story of these real quick. So what happened with these? These are rosary beads. You want to hold them to her?
Yes.
And they were sent in. It's kind of a chilling story, but heartwarming at the same time. A single mother in Alabama with 2 young children. They're at school during the day, and the mother's doing some last-minute chores in the house, getting ready for them to get off the bus. And in walks her mother, who lived about a half hour away, the kid's grandmother. And this wasn't unusual that she would drop by once in a while. So she comes in, but the weird thing that was strange about her showing up that day was that it was a Wednesday. And every Wednesday and every Sunday, the grandmother would go to church. She'd go to church twice a week, once on Wednesday to do the rosary beads, once every Sunday to attend regular mass. And so when she walks through the door, the daughter was, why are you here? How come you're not at church today doing the rosary beads? And the grandmother was like, I have a headache today. She holds up the rosary bead and she's like, I'm sure God's not going to get mad at me if I miss church one day. I've been going twice a week for decades now. And so I'm not going today. And so they had a laugh, and the daughter was like, listen, Mom, I'm trying to get things ready before the kids get off the bus. Do you want to give me a hand? She goes, yeah, I'll take care of the dog. I know the dog has to be let outside in the backyard. I know you have to feed the dog. I'll feed the dog, let him out. You work on the kid's snack. So they're like, okay. So they start having a laugh and talking. The daughter hears the school bus coming up the street, so she walks outside to the end of the driveway and greets the kids off the bus and says, Grandma's here. They're all excited. So they start walking back towards the house, and the daughter's cell phone rings. She answers, and it's a sister. And her sister says, I've been trying to call you for the past hour or so, and the phone line has been busy. What have you been doing? Unfortunately, we found Mom had passed away last night in her sleep. We found her this morning. And of course, she dropped her cell phone because she had just had this whole experience with her mom. Runs inside the house and finds that the dog has been let out. The dog bowl's food is filled with food. And the rosary beads, her mother's rosary beads, are now sitting on the counter next to the sink. So these rosary beads somehow teleported from the mother's house 30 minutes away, or literally came with her mother. Now, in the paranormal field, we know this as a crisis apparition, which, is reported quite often by families who experience a loss. And I think it's a way, and Satori would agree with me, that this is her mother's way of saying goodbye. So this woman, she sent these rosary beads in, something that means a lot to their family, just to tell that story. And hopefully give somebody hope that reads this story, knowing that, your loved ones may be a little closer than what you think they are. They might be right here, So it's things like this. And this is one of the more heartwarming things that has been sent in within the past couple of weeks or so. But we've also gotten some strange stuff, too.
Yeah. One of the things that I really like about your project, the endeavor that you're doing, is that when people think about these type of things, of course, everything's encased in glass and there's salt spread around it and you're throwing holy water around. But you've expanded that almost to the point where you have a throwback to these wonderful old traveling carnivals that had not necessarily just haunted objects, but all of these different oddities that have nothing to do with the paranormal, but each and every one of them has a story. And you do something pretty unique, that you go the extra mile on that in putting these case files together where you literally spell this out. And I know that your Patreon subscribers get these files on each and every one of those things after you take a deep dive in. I'm actually going to put this up This is the Patreon Haunted Museum. If you're interested in being a subscriber, I would strongly recommend that. And if you guys want to take a couple of seconds to let people know what that's all about, go ahead and do that.
Thank you. So our Patreon was set up just to kind of fund our project of taking care of the museum, because it's not really cheap to make sure the items are well taken care of. They have good cases. We're taking them places that we're supposed to show them to people. That it's kind of an expensive thing to take care of them properly. So our Patreon's set up to kind of help fund that, and also to help fund us get hopefully a location very soon. We built quite the happy little community there, kind of a bunch of weirdos all put together. So it's fun. We have different tiers. For example, one tier is just the membership kit. Another tier, we send you cards and postcards. Another tier, I have a box where I actually add in a lot of, spiritual items, jewelry, pendulums, sort of smoke cleansing sticks, things like that are mystery every month, usually to a theme. And you kind of get little goodies every month. It's a fun system that we've created. And just everybody's become a big family. So if anybody's interested in joining our Patreon, I think we have a couple slots open on certain tiers, and we'd love to see you in our group. A couple of them are actually watching right now.
Yeah, strongly recommend you doing that, because again, you get the inside story on a lot of these things, a lot of these items, and you talk a lot about it on your show. Of course, you talk a lot about it during your appearances and your presentations, the lectures that you give. But I just think it's wonderful that a lot of times these things come to you and you encourage the story to come with them. So then you can sort of put it in your own words and say, okay, this is where this comes from. And you're very, very, forthcoming about, listen, there's nothing haunted about this, but this is a piece of history or a piece of a family's history. And I think people can identify that with the rosary beads and things like that, because a lot of people have had incidents happen to them on the passing of a loved one that, they find something and they attach some symbolism to it, which is fine if it helps you through the grieving process. This is an entirely different level of things when something is in your house that wasn't there before, and you literally see someone you love come in visitation and let the dog out. I mean,
that's
right?
Something. That's something. It's interacting with our environment, which is amazing,
I don't know if you guys were prepared tonight with a couple of the new things that you have, but I know that your Patreon viewers have seen this because they get first dibs at all this, rightfully so. But I want to give you a little bit of time right now to maybe bring this out and tell everybody what happened to you guys this week, because this is they're amazing stories. They really are.
I think so too. So I'm gonna have to put on the gloves if I'm gonna show these off.
All right.
That sounds official.
I have to put on fancy gloves. I'm very careful with these items.
The first one, I'll do these in the order that we received them. Of course, we do get some strange stuff sent in.
I get a weird Michael Jackson vibe off of the story right now.
Did you just do that?
But anyway, I digress.
Now you got him sidetracked.
All right. So we do get some strange stuff sent in once in a while. And the past couple of weeks have definitely been a bit strange as far as items that come in. Of course, we always get, packages. I mean, over the past month, we've gotten packages that, just say, good luck. Here's a thing, good luck, and not telling anything about it. But then we get items like this that are, like you were mentioning, a piece of history.
Do you want me to show it and then you read it?
Yeah, so you can show it first if you'd like.
Okay, so here's the first item.
This is the first one.
I'm gonna get it on an angle where you can see it a little bit better. There you go.
Yeah, it may look very, very simple.
It's very simple. It's like a piece of white metal, and on the back it's very rusty.
Yeah. So what this is literally a piece of history.
History, yeah.
You know, and you want me to just read the letter?
Yeah, just read the letter.
All right. So this, of course, was a donation. So I hope you enjoy this donation to your museum. This is a small piece of the original infamous Hollywood sign. Here is some of the backstory on how I acquired my pieces. So Hank Berger purchased the original Hollywood sign from the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce after its demolition in 1978. Of course, the original Hollywood sign said Hollywood Land, and it was made. It was just supposed to be a temporary billboard for this housing development, and they didn't make it to last forever. So of course the elements over time, destroyed it, and people started graffitiing it, and it looked a mess. So they ended up demolishing it in 1978, and then in 2004, producer Dan Bliss bought the sign from Mr. Berger and sold a few large pieces on the internet. This piece that this gentleman has sent to us is a small piece of one of those larger pieces that I guess he purchased at the time when it went up for sale, and he liked what we were doing with the museum. We have a section in our museum called Famously Haunted, and it features kind of pieces of famous haunted locations, famous historical locations that have a haunted history, and of course, this sign has a haunted history, which is why he decided to send this to us. And there's so many paranormal claims within Hollywood itself. And of course, this Hollywood sign that's up today is a big symbol around the world. When people think of America, they think, geez, the Hollywood sign. And that's at the epicenter for entertainment here in the United States. And there's just been so much history around this sign that we are starting to acquire things to make a whole exhibit revolving around this whole genre of hauntings.
What's amazing about these pieces we're showing is these pieces, we didn't go out looking for them. We didn't go and try to purchase these items for the museum to show
Not like American Pickers or anything like
that. Yeah, no, these actually came to us and were given to us, which is amazing.
It's amazing that people send us this stuff.
Built up enough credibility and enough of a following where people want to send us things like this.
Well, they're spot on because their instincts were correct, or the way you sort of portray yourself is correct, because they think that if I'm going to give this to somebody, I'm going to give it to somebody who's going to respect it, appreciate the background. So I think that whole vibe that you give people where we do care about this stuff, I think it definitely makes an impression on people. And I'm glad you guys are coming into possession of these things. And I can almost assure you, and you know as well as I do, there's going to be a lot more on the way. A lot of UPS trucks stopping by.
Lately.
Yeah, I know. There's literally been so many packages coming.
We just received a huge package we're gonna have to show our patrons soon.
Yeah.
A huge one.
Oh yeah, big box.
Big one.
Starting to become, when you come first name basis with the UPS guy, that's that says something, I think.
We never tell them what's in the box. Most of the time,
what's in the box?
We won't even know most of the time.
I hear you.
But all right, so we have another one.
Another thing, yes, we do.
I believe so. Which one?
This is phenomenal.
It's a two-parter. Which piece should I show?
All right. Well, we'll tell the whole story here, and then you can take whatever one you'd like. You can surprise. All right. So, in 1959, I believe it was the night of February 1st into the 2nd of 1959, the Dyatlov Pass incident over in Russia, of course, is a big mystery of what happened that night. And if you're not familiar with the story, just a very short synopsis of it was these 9 hikers are camped out in what's known as Dead Mountain, out in the middle of pretty much nowhere, blizzard country. There you go. There's their tent on the last night. And something happened that night that, was very mysterious. And of course, they all ended up losing their lives, and no one really knows to this day what happened. All we know is the tent was found ripped open from the inside out. So they were trying to get out of their tent. by literally ripping the tent open instead of using the door. So it seems like they were in a rush. Some had radiation found on their clothing.
They were all in different stages of undress. They were found some missing their eyes, one missing her tongue. It seemed like some of them had blunt force trauma to the head, as if they were hit by something or they had fallen and hit in their heads very hard. It was just very mysterious. Very mysterious.
So there, of course, have been a lot of groups that have come together to try coming up with different theories and hypotheses on how this whole story unfolded and what it could be. Everything from UFOs. I mean, there were some cameras recovered from the incident. There still are some cameras missing as well, but some of the last photos on the film were of these bright lights. So some people believe that it could have been UFOs. Other people believe it could have been Russian missile testing that they tried covering up. So maybe that was it. My personal opinion is I believe that's what happened. I believe that there was some sort of missile or weapons testing in the area, and then they tried covering up what happened. Some people believe that it was an avalanche, but the incline, I guess, it would be very hard for an avalanche to happen because the incline of that hill doesn't really meet the requirements, I guess. What I understand from what I've read.
It wouldn't have been as hard of an avalanche to have taken out everybody.
But the weird thing was,
Or make people run.
Of course, you can read at lengths. I mean, there's a wonderful website out there called DyatlevPass.com, and the woman who made this website, she is like the expert on Dyatlov Pass and this whole incident. And there's everything you can find on this website. I will warn you that there are some graphic pictures and things like that of the crime scene and things like that, and maps on where everything was recovered. But just the whole weirdness surrounding it, how everybody was kind of spread out throughout the. I mean, some people were found almost a mile away from the tent. Of course, everybody passed away, and there was 2 people that were found around a cedar tree. And this tree has kind of become an iconic thing within the story because it's a huge part because it seems like there were 2 bodies recovered near this tree, and it seems like they theorized that the individuals were trying to climb the tree or hold on to the tree at some point. So we'll show you the items and then tell you how we acquired them. Somebody, of course, sent them to us. But the first piece we have here.
We do have a piece of that exact tree. You want me to tell who kind of sent it to you?
Sure. Okay.
So a gentleman had actually contacted us after seeing one of our videos about some of the information we gave regarding Dyatlov Pass. And he was in Russia. He's from Russia. And his name's Yuri. And he actually told us that he had taken a tour there by helicopter. He went when there was no snow. And he went and explored, and he found some things. And one of the things he wanted to donate to the museum was a piece of the tree in which 2 of the individuals were found under. Very, very large piece. It's a very, very large piece, but it's beautiful.
Right. So, again, this isn't things that are haunted per se. I mean, some individuals would say that something like this could hold energy. Me personally, I mean, I don't feel anything off of it. I don't know I can't speak for Satori, but
Sure.
I believe it's just a representation of the events to keep these individuals' memories alive.
Exactly.
Tell the story and make new individuals, new generation of people that may not be aware of this incident, and use this kind of as a teaching tool. Now, there is another piece that the gentleman sent to us that could be a little bit more of a one-on-one puzzle piece to connect us with the hikers that unfortunately perished. Now, we can't prove 100% that this item belonged to one of the hikers. I mean, the time frame for this item on when this item was made fits. That's a good term. It fits, and it was found literally right near the cedar tree. What happened was the story that was told to us by the gentleman that sent this next item to us was after he had located the tree, which there's maps and GPS points you can put into your GPS and locate it. He was on his way back to the helicopter that he came in on, to leave, and he found something, shimmering, sticking out of the ground, supposedly, and dug it out or whatever he did, and brought it home and cleaned it up, and this is what he got.
It is a Soviet era. I'm trying to get it at a good angle because I don't want to hurt it. Compass, and I'm trying to get it with a reflection. It has a strap and a buckle. It would have been worn around the wrist or strapped to the person. And we believe that it either belonged to one of the hikers or somebody that was definitely there in the 1950s. It fits perfect when you look at the date of this compass. Actually, what we were able to find there's a symbol of like an A on the back, and we were able to search up Soviet era compasses, and we were able to find very similar looking compasses, and they're military compasses. They're actually military grade travel compasses.
Yeah. Now, did this belong to one of the hikers? Was this part of the recovery team? I mean, the location now has a memorial, and like Satori was saying, they do offer helicopter, visits out there to visit the memorial on the off season when there's no snow. We're unsure on the time frame of when this gentleman recovered this from, but what we do know is during this time frame, when this compass was in use, there wasn't that many people going out there to visit this area. I mean, there was this big incident, this whole trek that happened. The recovery team went out there, and then people kind of backed off for a while. And until the monument was really built, that's when a lot of tourists, per se, started going out there. So this kind of narrows down who this might have belonged to. Again,
Right.
confirm anything, but it fits the era of this whole incident, which is
Well, the thing about Dyatlov is that it's at one point it's very tribal. There were I want to say civilization, but a village of people who lived there. This particular expedition was not meant to do anything but chart out things. They weren't discovering anything. It was a school project for all intents and purposes with college students. So because it was so tribal, I'm not sure of what type of technology or that was available to them, because it was a pretty isolated area, well known, but still pretty isolated. So I think there's you're on the right track, that it either belonged to somebody who was part of the recovery team, because the fact that it has a wrist strap, I told you guys last night, it's a hiker's compass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's readily available. So, I mean, if somebody's up there, why do you need a compass again? Unless you're looking for some type of radioactivity or something like that. So you decide to use that as a tool. But I'm sure that there's more advanced technology with Geiger counters and things like that to take those kind of measurements. So I think you're onto something there. And with everything that's been walked over all these decades, whoever found this and sent it to you, it's like, I just say, on the surface, what a hell of a find that is.
Yes. It's actually kind of beaten up. There's lots of scratches on it. It's very worn. And I believe, not to quote exactly, but I believe from what we were able to understand, he saw the buckle sticking out of the ground or by the tree. And that's what caught his attention, shining it first. And then he was able to get this compass out. It still works. And so our best bet is we believe that it is somebody that was either a recovery or one of them using the compass themselves. All the information that was given to us about the location of where he retrieved this compass in a vicinity, we gave him a map and told him to tell us where in the vicinity this was. We were able to determine that 2 people were recovered from that exact spot when putting it next to another map that we were able to research. So all the information adds up. I mean, everything that he's saying does happen or actually is in that vicinity of where things were found. And there are so many things still missing to this day. So I believe it's 100% possible that this could have belonged to the hikers or somebody from that recovery team. It is from the 1950s.
Right. Yeah, I know there is a lot of things that personal artifacts and equipment that still hasn't been recovered. There has been a good amount recovered that has been stored away in different universities and things like that. But there, like I said, there are still cameras that are, still missing. I know there's like ice axes that are missing still. So who knows if they have been recovered already and just, in somebody's closet somewhere, or they're still out there. So I think there is some stuff that's still out there that is waiting to be uncovered for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, a lot of the conspiracy theories surrounding the cameras is, obviously there are things on there they don't want anybody to see.
Yeah.
And that very, very well may be true in terms of the secrecy of those, especially if this is a military exercise that went bad. But as you say, these things, no one's going to be visited in the middle of the night by any of the students, but they're a lot of ways a memento or a tribute to a profound incident that happened.
Right.
In the case of someone with the rosary beads, that's obviously very personal to them. But these particular items go to a larger segment of people who have at least heard of this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If not researched it, because it's one of those stories that's not going away anytime soon.
Exactly. And that's the goal, is just to tell the story, to, put all of these hikers' names that lost their lives that night, in writing, so people can learn about them and their story, and just do a small part. I mean, to keep their names alive for the people that at least visit the museum, and the goal is that if you're not into paranormal or hauntings, and you're dragged along with somebody that is, that you still have a good time and maybe learn something along the way, or at least read a good story. So that's the goal, at least.
And the gentleman who donated this compass to us, along with the piece of the cedar tree, Yuri, he was very kind, and it seemed like that's what he really wanted to do. He wanted to make sure the story was told, and he believed that it was pretty much better donated to the museum, where it could be displayed properly and shown to people, and the story to be told to as many people as possible. It was better than just being with him, and so that's why he donated it. He didn't ask for anything. He just wanted to give it and make sure the story was told. So that's very respectable.
It's so kind of him to do that. I mean, just getting stuff out of Russia, I guess it was, that was a feat in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, it's a great segue. Speaking of history and paying tribute to people.
Sure.
We recently had an opportunity, and I want to bring George back in for this too, because we have a clip, as promised, we're going to play. I'm going to try to set this up as shortly and sweetly as I can, because there's a big story behind this. A number of years ago, we were asked to go and investigate a home in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. And part of the story was this particular man was at a bookstore one day, picked up a book by Hans Holzer, and it's called Ghosts of New England. That's what it is, right? You have that, Cody, I think.
Yeah.
Ghosts of New England. And he was flipping through the chapters, and he came to one in particular, something about the cottage or something along those lines. And as he's reading through it, he's recognizing names, and it suddenly dawns on him, this is the house that he just recently bought. This was in a matter of days. So needless to say, that got his attention. He slept with one eye open that night. And a few years later, he asked us to come by just to kind of check it out. And because the great and iconic Hans Holzer had been there, we considered it an honor to go. It's like, sure, little bit more technology, a little bit more, measuring tools. So we went, and actually it was, fairly active. We had some things happen to us. We'll talk a little bit about a rocking chair a little bit later, but to the point, this particular clip, Cody and Satori, if you don't know, and I think there are very few people who watch this show or see you on Dead Air who knows about the technique that came to you with the knocks and being able to communicate. But I'll give you the time if you want to break that down real quick, Satori, because I know that's your thing before she even starts. It's okay, everybody. If you freak out, you can just leave. So we went in and, we were there for a few hours. But at one point, we decided to question anyone who may have remembered Hans Holzer being in this place. And I believe he was there in 1968. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to let you guys clean this up for me before I play the clip. It's about 2.5 minutes long. It's well worth your time. So the line of questioning was that, do you remember this man that was here before us? You know, someone else asked you these questions, and you're going to see and hear the response we got back. And then when the video ends, we're going to take a second to ask you out in chat what you think they're referring to. We're certain what they were referring to, but we're really curious about what you think. So before I play it, you guys want to clean any of that up, or?
Yes. So a quick recap for anybody that does not know how it works. Cody and I, we found that when we come into a physical contact, usually through holding hands or wrists, we found that our energy works and allows us to communicate intelligently with the other side. The difference is you can hear it too. So you will hear what sounds like somebody in the room stomping their feet or hitting something. And we've created a method of communication through that noise. And you'll see that when you see the video. We asked about Hans, who was there in the 1960s, and we were able to get responses to somebody that saw somebody that very much resembled what we were describing, and kind of gave us what they saw. So, yeah.
Okay, so I told George a little bit about this, but he's going to see the clip as well. So this is essentially a piece of a session we did asking about the late, great Hans Holzer and his investigation of this house. So
play the video. Play it.
No, here's what happened.
Okay, Hannah Bullock, have you or anybody with you ever tried to speak to somebody, or have you ever had anybody come in here try to speak to you before tonight?
How about before
That was a
Ken?
long question.
Do you remember anybody coming here to ask questions to you before Ken was here?
Before the chair moved and everything.
Okay.
You remember that? Or somebody else that's here? Is it you that remembers?
No.
Alright, who remembers? Can I have your name? Even if we've talked to you before.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, R. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, A, B, C.
Richard?
Richard?
Richard, can I ask for your last name?
Richard
Bullock? He said yes as soon as he said yes. So you remember. Okay. Interesting. Was it a man? Okay.
Did he speak with an accent?
Yeah, he didn't sound like he was from this town. How many words? First word A, B, B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. Box. Next word A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, with. Next word A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, W. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, H. A, B, C, D, E, E. A, B, C, D, E, E.
Wheels?
He had a box with wheels. Okay.
The wheels
Okay, so it was confirmed Holzer was there, which we knew, but it was confirmed by somebody there who remembers that visit, who actually lived in the like 1800s, 1800s, but because they come in visitation, they were aware of somebody in their house. So the video ends there. But what you don't see is a few seconds going by and we're thinking, what does that mean? And then, you know, all of a sudden I had this idea and I just lost my mind momentarily because I figured it out. Yeah. So, yeah, it is wild. But I want to ask people in chat right now, Box with Wheels, Hans Holzer, what do you think that this spirit was referring to?
Can I also give another hint that was said that didn't show up in the recording?
Sure.
We asked if the wheels were on the bottom, and they said no, because we were asking if it was like some sort of rolled in type thing, and the wheels
Okay.
were on top.
Stop. Okay, no more calls. We have a winner. Aaron got it immediately. It dawned on us because obviously we're thinking, is he pulling what box?
Well, you're
And
talking
then-
about reel-to-reel recorder, correct?
Exactly. A box with wheels. This is how someone from his era, his time frame, described what he had with him and what he was carrying around the house. It was a reel-to-reel analog tape recorder.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about like a suitcase. Or
I
something.
know. I thought he was, but then when he said the wheels were on top, we all sat there for at least like a minute, and we were like, "What kind of box has wheels on top?" And then Ken had an epiphany. So
I had a screaming fit at that point.
yeah, he was like, "Oh, I know."
And for Aaron Bush, for winning this round, you actually get Jolene living with you for the next 60 days.
Yeah, she'll like that though.
Yeah, she's weird that way.
But here's the other thing. If you dig a little bit, and we got about 5 minutes left, I want George to weigh in on this too. But the other thing is when they do these sessions and we're present, because we're still investigating while they're doing their thing. And we asked for a K2 meter, and however you feel about K2 meters, I agree with you. But we asked that this spirit or one of the spirits, if they could make contact with this thing, and it had done nothing. And then suddenly this thing is spiking to yellow, red, and orange upon our request. The deeper thing is for those like all of us who think you go to the other side and you suddenly become enlightened, right? You can speak 17 languages. It's not necessarily true because in the time frame that this particular man lived, he was describing something that was completely odd to him that he's never seen before. It's not like suddenly, oh yeah, I know what a tape recorder is. Sure. I know what a DVD. Oh yeah, sure. I can do these things. So these little breadcrumbs sometimes that we find are just as remarkable. But
It was, and I just love Aaron Bush's comment. Actually, that's this isn't Jolene. Actually, Jolene's a lot bigger. This doll came from John Zappis, so this is one of our newer dolls to the
you
museum.
gotta be careful about that thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to say that because this is an interesting item
Yeah.
from John Zappis.
If that's the case, then the next time you guys are in correspondence with John, see whether or not he's willing to give up the tribal mask. And
Oh, geez.
Jeez, I doubt it.
that's the one I sent to him probably about 10 years ago. It's got a little mace kind of a thing to it, a warrior's mace, also made of wood. And the case that I went on, there these things were lighting up EMF meters like it was going out of style. I'd never seen anything like it before.
No kidding.
And deeper story behind that, but that's for now. If you obtain it, I'll tell you the story on a future show.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
But I know we're running out of time very, very quick here. So I'll just make this more so of a statement to you guys rather than a question or debate back and forth before we go to the break. Here's my upset concerns. And, as Ken calls me, or I call him throughout each week, and you guys have all gone out and done some of these experiments, which are just mind boggling. You've heard me vocalize my opinions as to the potential of what this is. And even in this circumstance, every single time, and I said to Ken, thank God I'm not 20 miles away from you guys. I'm 2,000 miles away, because your sessions would probably go on an additional 2 hours with my questions. But what I look at and I focus on, yes, I understand you guys are still in the early stages, the discoveries, things that you are still finding out with regards to this. I would like to see somewhere down the line, as if you have all the spare time in the world, but a collaborative effort from the two of you to put together some sort of a book or a volume. Here's the thing about it. This is too important to not be submersed in the paranormal. This is the kind of thing right now that, as we are discovering, it just kind of takes those people who want to go into places and claim everything is demonic. That most of these spirits in communication just want general dialogue, or to be left alone, one or the other, and not to be provoked and not to be pushed and not to be persecuted for no reasons other than the fact of, see if I can get a rise out of it. It's important. When we have a spirit talking about a box with wheels, when Ken told me that the first time, and I guessed it wrong, I said wagon, and the extra information you guys just brought up about it, saying that, we've got, questions answered about the wheels were on top. Then he brought it to my attention. I'm like, well, geez, how does he register that? Does he say, yeah, these many years ago, or it seems like yesterday? The time aspect, what are they experiencing? These are the things I think, again, that the field need to be privy to. They need to be addressed in one way, shape, or form. And I know we're about to go to break here, Bill. And I would like you guys maybe to respond on the other side of the break. But again, as many times as Ken said and I've said, thank you so much for this gift that you've bestowed upon us, upon the field. I don't think it's getting enough of the recognition that it deserves. That being said, guys, we're going to go to break here real quick. Cody and Satori joining us on the other side of the break. We're going to get into some great gameplay and have some fun. So you guys can participate with us also. You are watching Dead Air Live on the Dead Air Full Spectrum channel with KGRA DB. We are simulcast. We'll talk to you soon. Stay with us.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
As UFO reports come in from around the world, the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, is there. We continue to explore new cases and build our massive database. We share our information with the world in a number of ways. If you would like to be part of our investigative team, you are always welcome. What could be more exciting than exploring the UFO question firsthand? Join MUFON, find your friends.
Hi, I'm Austin Butler from Baz Luhrmann's new film, Elvis.
Tomorrow, all of America will be talking about Elvis Presley.
As a blood donor himself, Elvis shared the gift of life with patients in need and asked others to do the same. We're encouraging you to give blood this summer. Please visit redcrossblood.org/ElvisMovie today to learn more.
You're listening to the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. We provide unparalleled coverage of trending news in the world of ufology, cryptozoology, and paranormal phenomenon. Whether you're watching our video live stream or listening to one of our audio programs, you are getting the best from world-renowned researchers and hosts, guiding you through topics the mainstream won't touch. Miss one of your favorite programs? No problem. Head over to the members area at kgradb.com for access to our massive library of award-winning content. Make contact, stay connected, only at kgradb.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the second hour of our Halloween month kickoff, finally October. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. Our very special guests, Cody, Ray, DesBiens, and Satori Hawes will be back with us here in a second. Don't forget to check out a lot of our content. We just started back up last week with the Monday Night Monsters. Ken, who do we got coming up with them pretty soon here? And tell everybody about the other shows that are right here on Dead Air Full Spectrum.
Yeah, sure. Monday Night Monsters made its fall return, and the opening show, the premiere for the fall, was about Dracula and the history and background of the Count himself. This week, the boys are going to be doing a little something where they're going to give a top 10 list of their favorite Halloween movies and exactly why that is. So we've got a lot planned for the month of October. Of course, it is the spooky season. And, of course, ours truly, Dead Air George and I, every Sundays from 8 to 10 on Dead Air Full Spectrum and KGRA Digital. Extremely Strange, where a guy in a baseball hat tells weird stories about true things,
Awesome
because truth is stranger than fiction. And then every other Thursday, of course, Cody and Satori, our guest tonight, live from the Haunted Museum. In the off week on Thursday, it's Panoramic Perspectives with Carl Johnson and Elise Jamarco Carlson. So there's a lot on the plate. And if you like this type of content and you want to stay spooky, then hit us up at Dead Air Full Spectrum, because, you know, there's something out there for everybody.
Yeah, and subscribe. That's the best way, guys, and the reminder bell to know what's coming up. And what do you get? A ding on your phone. That's it. Put your phone on silent, but do not forget to subscribe. That's the important part to it. Let's bring our very special guests on tonight, our good friends and family members, Cody and Satori. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Has that doll freaking moved or what, man? Because I'm telling you, she was looking towards Cody, and now she's looking straight ahead. I'm really not sure yet.
Well, that's her claim. She supposedly moves and kind of comes to life like that. So we're not bumping her. Our chairs are a little bit in front. So.
All right. Well, while we get into these games, you guys in the chat, you happen to spot anything, please let us know, because we got to focus on several different things as we're presenting these upcoming shows. And what are we going to do first here, Ken? Because I know at one point in time we got to bring our producer in also, but I'll leave it to Mr. DaCosta to guide us here.
Well, of course, it's the first of many, hope to follow, Paranormal Game Nights. Take it away.
Get ready for America's #1 game show. Broadcasted here on KGRA-DB and Dead Air Full Spectrum, it's Paranormal Game Night.
All right, so that kicks it off wonderfully, doesn't it? Yeah. So the first game tonight, we're actually going to bring our producer on. It's called Paranormal Passwords. So if you're ready, And those of you are, what is it, George? There's good stuff going on here.
High tech stuff here, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we spare no expense. Are you kidding me?
We must have hired an agency.
Yeah, yeah,
very very nice.
We hired an agency, all right.
Budgeting.
So anybody who's played Password knows that whoever is going to guess the word, their partner will give one-word descriptions until they get it. And when they do, you will hear a metal clunk. And of course, after 30 seconds, if they get it wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
We'll start with Cody and Satori. And who wants to be the guesser first?
You be the guesser?
Me the guesser? I'm horrible. All right. Okay,
All right,
I'll
so
be the
I'm
guesser.
You have to
Wait,
shield yourself.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you have to hide your eyes. Bill, give everybody the password. Okay, and you are on the clock, Cody and Satori.
Can you even say that on TV?
What?
Nothing.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Ghost.
Paranormal?
Clear. Visual.
I don't know.
Experience.
Apparition?
Yes.
Oh! I was thinking that word. I got it.
Wow. Now, Ken, you are at a bit of a disadvantage having me on your team. I'm here in the garage. While there is a split wall right here, the front part of the garage, I have stored for the hurricane 4 5-gallon containers of gasoline, and the fumes have been hitting me for the last hour. So
perfect.
This could be interesting.
All right, I'll volunteer to go first. I will hide my eyes, and Bill can get the word up there.
Great, no pressure. Okay, Bill, go ahead, put that up there. Hang on, let me Google this. Yeah, you can look back, but I got to remember.
Okay.
Why are you laughing, Satori?
Hey, we're on the clock here. Let's go.
I know, but okay. Are you ready? Paranormal.
Spirit.
Movement.
Poltergeist.
Object.
Aport.
Movement.
Agent.
Transfer.
I suck at this.
Mind.
Oh, telekinesis.
Almost.
Psychokinesis.
Yay!
Oh,
Wow, that's right.
more than 30 seconds.
That was like a minute and 30
That was
seconds.
like a minute and 30.
Extra perfumes. Here you go.
Oh,
Extra time for the
Somebody
fumes.
in chat says this show needs more cowbell. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so Cody, you're hiding this time, and Bill, let's put their word up.
Oh, okay.
Well, might as well just start off right now.
Okay, Cody.
He's not going to get it. There's no way.
Go ahead, Cody.
All right.
Spirits.
Ghost.
Nature.
Elemental.
There you
Oh,
go.
you know. Okay, Ken, are you trying to hit them? I told you. You be the.
It's because we have that weird connection thing, maybe.
Yeah, this is not fair.
Yeah, you see, you can hear the tapping from there.
And
All right, George, you
and out
gotta
of
hide.
camera, yeah, but there's a good chance out of camera they got a doll there also giving them a little
Oh
help.
yeah,
Oh, they're using a
I know how
lifeline.
they
Is that
do
it?
Yeah.
Jolene
Okay.
is the lifeline. Okay, you're hiding. All right, Bill, what do we got? Okay, George.
We ready?
Easy. Dust.
Orbs.
That was too easy.
Well, I want my bell.
More
Oh.
cowbell.
There we go. There we go. Oh, that could be a record. That could be a dead air record, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you
Sure.
very much.
That was easy. All right, Bill, what do we got for Satori here? Ooh. Okay.
Okay, ready?
I'm bad at this.
Okay. Dark.
Night.
Apparition.
Shadow.
Hat.
Top hat man.
Close. Dark.
I don't know.
Apparition.
Shadow man.
What?
Shadow man.
Judges.
No, okay, we'll give it to
I know. You're
Close
looking.
enough.
I feel like he's getting mad at me.
I was
every
trying
time
to get you to
he's
say
going,
2 words.
Shadow
gender neutral. Gender neutral, Satori. What would it be? Shadow.
person.
There we go.
Yeah, shadow person. Yeah, but he was like top hat.
I don't know. You guys in the chat need to get, whether or not they got that or not. We'll make a decision.
I think I got that.
Yeah, judges say. All right. So now
I'm hiding.
all right, Ken's hiding. Here we go.
Okay.
Let me Google that.
We totally did that.
Okay.
Okay, what do we got?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Star.
Astral.
Satanic.
Star. Satanic. Demon.
Ritual.
Exorcism.
Symbol.
Symbol of Exorcism. Bible.
Star.
Pentagram.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is rigged.
This is rigged.
This is rigged.
All right. Is that 4?
I don't know.
Is that 4? Okay, let's get the next one up there. Who's hiding for you guys this
I
time?
think I'm hiding.
All right.
I think it's also very biased in the chat too. I just want to say.
Well, I think I did all right, and I have some great friends in the chat that are vouching.
I had to get her to say 2 words.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I had to smack you. Possession.
Demonic.
Priest or like shaman.
Exorcist.
Process.
Exorcism.
There you go. There you go.
You don't even get a full bell.
You just got a half bell.
Okay.
Yeah, they're leaning this way. Okay, we got 2 left, so we're the last, right? So George, you're playing peekaboo this time. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
This last one.
Yep. Ghost.
Spirit.
Noisy.
Banshee.
Chains.
Rattled and shook. Noisy. I don't know.
Movement.
I don't know.
Agent.
Agent.
Adolescent.
Wow.
Carol Ann.
Possessed.
No.
There you go.
What was the word?
I'm sorry, we were looking for poltergeist. Poltergeist.
Wasn't that the very first one that Cody and Satori did?
I don't know.
Was it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, I must have. Yeah,
so.
because I kept thinking Poltergeist, but I'm like, no, they used that already, so that one doesn't count. So it was a draw. It was a draw.
Oh, okay.
It,
All right,
it was a draw.
Which in the next game.
All right, yeah, on to the next, as they say, as a famous man once said. So, what's coming up next, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Now, a little thing we like to call Would You Rather. Who would like to go first here?
Well, we went first last round. I think it's fair to go.
So we're asking each other, right? Like we're just both of us. So like, Ken, you're asking for both of us.
No, we're just like, I think we have like, how many do we have? We've got 5 of these apiece. So you guys will ask us.
Yep.
We'll briefly give our answer and then we'll ask you because the answers might be different.
Right.
Okay.
All right. You guys want to go first this time? Go ahead.
All right. So we ask you. All
Right.
You go.
Oh, all right. Would you rather be cursed or possessed?
I think I'd rather be possessed because I think somebody can pull me out of it.
All right.
Okay.
Doesn't affect other people.
I agree too, because in that particular case, there's a good chance that I will not be aware of what is going on. With cursed, I will be paranoid with what's going on. So definitely possessed.
All right.
All right.
Okay. There's no right or wrong answer. So no more cowbell tonight.
Okay.
George, you want me to read these because we both contributed to these?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Would you rather have a best friend dolphin or a best friend Bigfoot?
You go first.
Best friend Bigfoot. Because I feel like that would be, it's almost like having one of those very protective, big scary friends. So I think that would be cool.
Okay. Wait a minute. I've
And
never
I
met
can
a
find out more secrets.
All right, I've never met a Bigfoot, but I have met a dolphin, and I think they're pretty kind. I fed them a fish once, so I would go with the dolphin.
But what
I
if
think
Bigfoot is like a kind, like from the?
I don't know that.
What if?
So I'm not taking the chance.
But
Oh, we're gonna do this.
I'm just saying.
I'm not taking the chance.
If it's a friend,
Yeah, it might be nice. Hey, how you doing? And then all of a sudden, the switch flips and he eats your head.
like a multiple personalities.
He could be.
What about the other aspect of it? Everybody that wants to take that Bigfoot away from you versus having a friend dolphin.
Why? Either I keep him a secret then, or I do dolphin.
Well,
I guess.
me and my dolphin best friend will send you sympathy.
Yeah, you're just gonna go swimming to see him.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what about winter?
I'll move down with George.
Miami. There you go.
All right.
All right, I guess you guys are up now.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do. Would you rather be trapped in a horror movie or stuck in the Upside Down from Stranger Things?
Trapped in a horror movie or stuck in the Upside Down. I'm going to say I'd rather be trapped in a horror movie.
Okay.
Because I think I'd be the last to die.
Okay.
Fair.
To me, this is semantics because aren't they both horror movies?
I guess.
Well,
unless it's black and white, in which case it's much more benign, and I would say a black and white horror movie. Yes.
All right.
Okay. All right. We'll take that one then.
The monsters don't move that fast.
That's true.
Exactly.
Now it's just kind of like you're booking and the monsters are going like this, and somehow they either freaking catch you or you trip on a stump, and then you have to do this.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Right. Okay. for you guys, would you rather be abducted by an alien or have one move in with you for a year?
I would say move in with me for a year because it could just be like a friend situation. Like you have a new friend, they don't have to, when you're abducted, they might do experiments on you and be horrible to you. It depends on what their intentions are,
Somebody has seen E.T. too many times.
I'm just saying, you don't know what the intention is. It's technically like kidnapping you. So if you have one move in with you, I don't know, maybe.
I think that's a very hard secret to keep. I am going the total opposite way. I am getting abducted. I am going to go to the spaceship because I've always
and
wanted
they're
to see
going to
one.
look at you and they're going to decide, wow, this one.
I think it's
And
I think it's a lot easier to go there than it is to hide an alien here. Because as soon as word starts getting out that you have an alien in the house,
But what if they want to experiment on your brain? Like you come back like no cognitive functions, and you're like practically you can't function.
I doubt that's going to happen. I don't
know.
think that's going to happen.
I'm like unpopular opinion.
I want to be abducted. I'm taking a chance.
You want to be abducted? He wants to be abducted. All right.
Anybody even consider the fact that living with you may screw up your Wi-Fi?
That's true.
Well, what if their technology is better than what you got? So if they live with you, they upgrade your technology.
Good argument. That's
There
a
you
good argument. Okay.
All
right.
Like, I don't know who'd come back first, the alien or Cody. I'm not sure. The alien made book. It's like, wow, look, I got a thing. I got to go. All right. Who's up? You guys.
Yep.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Would you rather spend the night in our haunted doll room or spend the night in the woods alone in a haunted forest?
Ooh.
Go ahead, George.
Without a tent. You don't have a tent either.
Both are tempting as hell. But I would have to say you nailed it. You went the minute you threw in there without a tent. That was a no-brainer at that point in time. I would stay in the museum with the dolls because I would be more terrified of the mosquitoes and the spiders than I would of anything that would be paranormal. Whereas I would expect you have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in your case, heating.
I'm going to go doll room 2 on that.
All right.
Because number 1, I've done it before. And number 2, I probably got a better chance of surviving that with a roof over my head than the elements. It all depends. I love the forest, like camping and everything, but if it came down to it, I'm going to go with doll room.
Okay.
All right. Smart answer.
All right.
Okay. To you guys, would you rather have the power of telekinesis or the power of telepathy? Would you rather be able to move objects around or read people's thoughts?
I would say move things around because I don't want to know what so many people are saying about me in their heads, because I can imagine there's a lot of people that are fake. So I'm just going to go with here. I'm not going to even worry about that. Too much stress. I think too much anyway. I'd much rather move things.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. If we both had the option to pick one of them, and you pick that, then I would obviously pick the opposite. But if we didn't, I would choose move things as well, because I think that'd
be kind of cool.
That is really cool. I think that would
really
be neat.
cool.
I think that'd be really neat to bam and have something move.
Never have to get up for the remote again? Yeah.
No, just have it float over to you.
There you go.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, you guys.
Okay, would you rather hear a spirit or see a spirit? If you can only do one when you're communicating with a spirit, would you rather see them or hear them? Like you don't get the other.
No brainer for me. I'd rather see one.
Okay.
Complete opposite. I'd rather hear it because in the essence of if you're looking at a spirit and that spirit seems anguished and there's no way that you could have a dialogue with them, you're really not contributing. You're really not helping them or them helping anybody else. And I think that from the audio standpoint, to be able to speak with them is critically important.
Okay. There you go.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
their
agree.
answers.
I agree.
I like how it's different.
Okay. The next one is a variation on a theme. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or one night in a haunted house?
One night in a haunted house, because I'm gonna tell you guys a weird little fear I have. Actually, the forest at night. It makes me very uneasy. So I'm gonna choose a night in a haunted house.
Yeah, I'm going with night in a haunted house as well. I have a feeling some Blair Witch stuff would happen to me.
I feel like it's too dangerous in the forest at night. It's just
Well, you kind of had some Blair Witch stuff happen at the Conjuring house that night.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
This
So
is true.
I would spend one night in the forest, no problem.
There's too much that you can't control. Like somebody could be watching you and you never know. You know, somebody could be right there and you never know.
And and like George said, there's a lot of living things that you have to look out for as well.
Yep.
So you have a lot more variables out in the woods. So I would do a night in the woods, but not a week. I'd rather pick the haunted house.
The forest wants to kill you. Nature wants to kill you. They want you to die. We're going to get your comments up there. George and I have been stepping on each other here, so I'm going to leave that there. Because every time that you guys come up with your thoughts, we click on and off. So, okay. Who's up? You guys are up? You guys are up.
We're asking you, right? All right. So, would you rather be able to talk to the dead or talk to aliens?
My particular position, I'd like to talk to aliens. I think I've talked to that. I want to go to the other side. Meet Blockbort.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, it's a loaded question because, you know, we even talk about the fact, and you guys have even had to deal with it with your technique of what if you're talking to something that's manipulating you? And that could be the case in either category, what you're speaking to as far as ghosts and what you're speaking to as far as aliens is concerned. So, but for the promise of potential, I would say aliens as well, for what could be discovered.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm down with the aliens.
Yeah.
Ken tells me I'll take over the chat, and then Ken takes over the chat.
Well, you were talking, so by the time you get to it, we've moved on to the next question. Mork. From Mork. Okay. So this is the last question, right?
I think
you
so.
guys? Okay.
Yep.
It's a tough one. Think about this now.
All right.
Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse?
Zombie all day long.
Oh, boy.
Zombie. Robots are way too smart.
Robots are way too durable too. If they were able to take things over, they'd have to be able to take an attack. So I would say zombies too, because there must be a way to take them down because they have the body of a person.
Think about it. Robots can fly.
Isn't all
They can
zombie
swim.
apocalypse too because of some sort of parasite or illness too? So it's like you're just taking down the human vessel instead of taking down a robot. I think the human vessel would be easier.
Oh, I would build a damn good fort. I would make weapons. I'd be all set.
Okay, I'm
I'd
glad.
be all set.
We're both gonna say zombie.
Zombies.
Okay. I mean, we know from the movies, we know how to kill zombies, right? You pop them in the head.
Totally.
Right. Headshots.
That's what you do. Headshot.
We're gonna find
Okay.
out it's not that at
All day
all.
long. Yeah. Okay.
Keep the conversation going. I will be right back, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Do we?
All right.
Are we done? Or
Wait, that was the last one?
No, we're not done. Well, we're done with that, but we've
Okay.
got one more going on. Let's turn our thoughts to the chat room, Zombie, Joseph, and Erin. Some good advice around your house with treadmills
Good
for
idea.
zombie apocalypse. Yeah. My luck, I would get a bunch of zombies who died in Planet Fitness or something like that. And they just, like, a bunch of hamsters outside my house that never get tired.
How about mirrors? What if you put a bunch of mirrors around your house and confuse them?
Oh,
They
yeah.
think that they're getting attacked by zombies.
I don't know, Cody.
That could be said of many investigators in this field too.
That's true. Yeah.
You're like a dog walking up to it and barking at itself. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I've seen my doppelganger, and
Yeah.
then they like write a book about it.
That's it. Done.
Where are we going? I know where we're going next, ladies and gentlemen. Our final game of the day is called
An oldie but a goodie.
an oldie but a goodie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 7 deadly questions.
Okay.
We start this time, right?
All
Yeah.
right. Yes.
All right. Which historical figure would you like to fight in a boxing ring in Las Vegas?
Oh my God.
I mean, who really pisses you off? That you just like to strap on the 12-ounce gloves or go MMA on this person?
Fictional or real, doesn't matter.
Aaron Burr.
No.
He shot Hamilton. I'm gonna go after him. He needs some payback.
Oh no.
Jake Paul.
I don't know. I don't know any. Like, I'm trying to think of a historical figure where I'm like, I really want to fight you, and I can't think of any right now. Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson.
Oh, why?
Because the whole Native American
Oh, okay.
hatred thing,
All right.
the
Say no more.
genocide that
Jeez.
pretty much happened to Native Americans, people of color, all that. I would totally fight Andrew Jackson.
Okay.
I would have put money on Satori saying Joan of Arc, just because it would have been a badass fight.
Yeah, I would probably lose. I would probably lose to anybody in a fight. So I'm not.
We've got a couple of comments here. People weighed in. Joseph wants to fight John Wilkes Booth.
Oh,
There
Okay.
you
good
go.
one.
There you go.
Aaron wants to fight Hitler.
That's a
Wow.
good one. That's a really good one. I thought that would have been too easy if I said something like that. But
Yeah,
that's a
let's do
good
it.
one. That's a good one.
Your guys' turn.
Oh, it's
Oh,
our turn.
all right.
Cody, you're supposed to ask the first one.
Okay, get on it.
What is one thing you wished the paranormal community would stop doing?
Do you want a funny answer or a real answer?
Give us both.
Stop saying the word debunk, because it's only meant when someone is perpetrating a hoax. I mean, that's the funny answer. What I wish they would stop doing is doing performance art and pretending they're badasses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the serious answer.
Nice.
Okay.
That's good.
That's a good
I
one.
like it, George.
Flashlight communication. I mean, there was a German scientist. What are we talking about, Ken? Years now that they went out there and completely explained how the whole system works.
Right.
And it was just eye-opening to sit there and go, man, it's just not a surefire way. I mean, not everybody can do what Cody and Satori do. I understand that part of it, but lay off the flashlight communication. As much as you guys are convinced by it, it's just it shouldn't even be anywhere in the wheelhouse of what we do.
Quit saying it's always a demon. I'm with that one too.
Yeah.
Love
Oh,
it.
God, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Next one, Ken.
Okay, you're lost in a foreign country.
Oh.
You can't speak the language.
Okay.
Which country would be the toughest to deal with?
Most terrifying.
What country? What did you say?
North Korea.
Well, we're just talking about the language. You can't speak the language of this country. I don't know if you want to go most
I can't
terrifying
speak
or
Korean.
You're lost.
Yeah.
You're in this country. You can't speak the language. What country would be the most terrifying for you to get out of?
Russia. That would be mine. I would say Russia.
Right. Yeah. Russia's pretty bad.
I would say Russia.
after they've sent you gifts
It's no. Yuri sent us gifts. Yuri sent us gifts.
They speak highly of you.
Yuri sent us gifts, not the government, not the people that are secretly in control of things, not the I don't know. I think there's a lot of lockdown, a big lockdown in Russia.
I am still going with North Korea. I hear that's a very hard country to get in and out of if you don't know somebody, especially if you don't know the language. All you have to do is step in the wrong area and you're, done for. So
I would have said Zimbabwe just because of the bugs. That's it.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it.
That's not good. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Android Purity said, I had this in my mind too. Chinese Mandarin. I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any language for me.
No, that's not good.
I can barely speak English. I'm actually very bad at
Right? That's what I'm saying. We're from Rhode Island. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like they can't understand us when we go to Maine.
You guys in Boston, that's it. Whole nother country.
I have a good one. If you could solve one great mystery case, what would you want to solve? Like, it could be a missing person, it could be conspiracy. You get one. Which one would you solve?
That's right.
I'm going to go with the one just so we could move on. Probably the Kennedy assassination.
Ooh, okay.
Just so we can move on.
Okay.
This might be a little bit sobering. It's close to home, but it's with regards to my team member, Amanda, the one who was killed in a car crash 8 years ago. That, it's still a mystery how she died on that highway. And we had all kinds of speculation. Was it a truck trying to play chicken with her? The Florida Highway Patrol said it was a deer that ran out in front of her, but we're all used to that on these roads down here for key deer. And we've never gotten an absolute answer to that as to what had actually transpired. And maybe sometime here, Cody Satori will try and do a connection with Amanda and try and get more answers with you guys, with your process.
Sure.
You can always try.
Good try.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. We're up now? We're up now. You get an appendage caught in a rock. You can't escape without amputating it.
28 days.
Which appendage would you prefer to amputate to get free?
A finger.
Ooh. And how would you amputate it?
So it could be anything. So a finger would count?
A finger, yeah. I have a finger stuck on a rock.
I would say a finger, yeah.
Oh, you got off easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would pick.
Finger.
As far as how to cut it off, a toe.
A toe.
I would use so. First of all, a finger is just trapped you. A finger.
Yeah,
that's like saying I got my pinky toe caught between two rocks. Oh my God, I'm a dead man.
It's not like you're gonna need it very much.
Okay,
Right?
I had to pick a main limb.
Yeah, give it something dramatic.
My left hand, because I, for some reason, have to do everything with my right hand. You know that, and I don't know why. So I would be fine without my left hand.
Yeah, I would. I think I'd rather lose a hand or an arm or something.
Or a foot.
No, foot's
But
balance.
you can get a prosthetic.
A prosthetic, yeah. But I think I'd rather have a robot hand.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go with robot hand. Ken?
Now we're part of the Avengers. Now all of a sudden we're the Winter Soldier over here. My God.
Cody the Winter Soldier. That's a cool handle. I'd go for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Moving on.
What would your famous last words be?
That was gonna be mine.
Famous last words.
Yeah. What's going on your tombstone?
You get one sentence.
Yeah.
One sentence. What would that sentence be?
On my tombstone or on my deathbed?
Either or.
Let's say deathbed. I think that one's a little more.
On deathbed?
Yeah.
All right, on your deathbed.
Goodness.
I would probably something along the lines of, see you guys in a bit. Catch you later, dude.
Catch you later.
Oh.
Gosh, that's a very, very, I think it's a very personal question. I'm not sure whether or not I can on the spot think of what I would say other than something that would be facetious and probably a bit of a cliche. But it would have to do with something about the afterlife and continuing on. So,
There you go.
as Ken just said, I'll see you guys later. I would love for my last words to be, I see my family.
Oh, that's cool.
That would be awesome.
That's neat. That's neat. That's really neat.
I like that answer.
As opposed to Gene, I screwed up bad this time.
Mine would be like, watch this. And then that would be the end.
Okay, moving on here. This is the burning question. Is cereal soup?
Because
I feel
Ken
like
picked this. Ken picked this up at his last Burning Man event.
I feel like this
Existential.
is a conversation we'd have at like 3 a.m.
Well, I think cereal would be the stuff that comes in the box. I think you pouring the cereal with the milk turns it into something else.
I think soup needs to have some sort of like.
Well, so does ramen.
Doesn't like a soup need to have some sort of like broth? Or
Ramen is ramen in the package, but as soon as you make the ramen, I think it turns into a soup.
Have you ever seen cereal not get soggy?
Yes, but if you go to the store and buy cereal in the box, that is cereal, right?
Because it says cereal on it.
Because it says cereal. But when you take it home and put milk in it, I guess it could be considered a soup.
Why are you so passionate?
Well, this is just this virtue signaling stuff. Just because something is labeled.
Yeah, I'm gonna give no reasoning to my answer, and I'm just gonna go no.
Yeah, hang on, Ken, before we get to the answers on it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's like going to the store. If you're gonna have beef stew, that's like calling. If you buy some beef, that's like saying, "Oh, beef is soup." It's when you turn the beef into a soup, then it becomes beef soup.
Well, I have one for you. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Really? You would just say hot dog is a
I'm
sandwich?
not one of these fence straddlers. No, a hot dog's a hot dog. Hot dog's a sandwich by definition. Hence, the question is cereal soup.
No, it's not. And I'm just going to say it's not, whether the internet says it is or not. I'm just going to say it's not.
I think it could be.
We will respect your opinion.
Because it's the right one.
I think it could be.
It's not. Nope.
All right, what do you guys got?
What do we got? Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. If you could decide what, and I'm going to say good place because that's what the spirits have said to us more when we've communicated with them about the other side. If you could decide what the good place looked like in your own version of it, where would you end up? Where would you be? What would it look like?
Baseball field.
A baseball field?
Please repeat the question.
The good place, the other side. If you, when you pass away, you get to design your own version of it. Where would you be? What would be your version of
paradise?
Being a good place.
Bowls of cereal. I don't know. I think, beautiful the country, like the show that I'm watching right now is filmed in Wyoming. Gorgeous country. Utah, Oregon, gorgeous country. I just visualize it that way. But from a perfection standpoint, what would be paradise? Gosh, to each his own, but it would be an Italian restaurant.
Ooh. Yeah, I might be there with you.
Yeah.
Table for two. Me and George.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where the hell are you
You've
from?
never heard of this.
Bahamas.
This isn't heaven. This is Iowa.
Yep. Amen to that.
Good answers. I like those answers. Okay.
Baseball
good.
field.
Was that the last one?
No.
Okay.
We've got a couple, 3 more to go.
Okay.
All right, this one's for you. What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen in someone else's house?
Oh. And you can't include yourself.
The weirdest thing we've ever seen in somebody else's house.
Mhm.
Physical or paranormal?
Cereal is in a soup. You decide.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let you go.
Well, there's definitely some things I don't believe we could say on the show. But let me think of something that we can say. I don't know.
We've seen some things.
Something. The weirdest thing.
Are you going from a paranormal standpoint or a physical standpoint? 'Cause
I'm-
I don't want to think about some of the things. Physically.
I mean, this could be like an umbrella holder shaped like a frog. Like the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Or if it's like, an apparition with a couple of heads, then go for it,
Well, you've seen some weird looking apparitions before.
The spider?
Yeah, that's one thing you've seen.
So I did see a apparition at one point that looked like a spider person. That was pretty strange.
Nice.
That freaked me out.
I know. Yeah, I know one paranormal
Very
thing that freaked me
badly.
out.
Very badly.
Yes.
I remember. This was years and years ago. I remember seeing a guy's eyes turn completely black, like somebody had poured ink in his eyes. Completely black, like right in front of me, like 2 feet away from me, and like whole demeanor change. It looked like somebody poured ink in his eyes. That's probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It freaked me out.
Metaphysically. We're just gonna answer it metaphysically. There.
That's weird.
That's weird.
That'll do it too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
Cody, it's your turn.
All right. If you could make a new team with 3 other known paranormal investigators,
They could be alive or dead.
who would they be?
Boy.
There's so many I could say not.
Yeah, right. That list is long. I would probably, it would not be Hans Holzer. No offense. Oh, yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, it really is. It's kind of tough. I would probably go with Konstantin Radive.
Nice EVP special.
For the EVPs, right? I would probably, this has to be alive or dead, right?
It could be both. Yeah.
Okay. I would go with Michio Kaku for physics.
Nice.
And, oh boy. J. Allen Hynek for aerial phenomena and astronomy.
Wow. That's a
very good
team.
list.
That's a murderer's row right there.
Yeah.
And then there's me.
Well, don't sell yourself short because you're number 1 on my list, actually, Ken. I would have you on board just because of your vast knowledge and experience. And then for entertainment purposes, I would have Meatloaf and Shirley MacLaine.
Wow. Wow. That would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
So I literally have to carry that mob?
You're in trouble, buddy.
What have I done to piss you off? He gives me Meatloaf and Shirley MacLaine. Now go.
Hey, you're the one who
Who
keeps
goes
jumping on,
surreal?
you keep jumping on my chat clicks, so that's
I can take Meatloaf myself because 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
that too.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, God. moving.
He did it.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's right. I went.
Yeah.
Question next.
Yeah.
If you were transported 200 years into the past,
Yep.
wearing clothes of that era,
Okay.
how would you prove you're from the future?
Do I have my cell phone?
No.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I have
Geez.
my cell phone.
Why'd you yell at him?
That man would be beheaded in 5 minutes.
That's like saying, well, did I go back in my Mustang?
Well, geez, that he would have been.
What are you, Michael J. Fox or something?
You would have been beheaded for having a phone in 5 minutes. Just imagine when we held hands.
I know.
Demon.
Yep. So I think it would take some time, but I think if I predicted enough things that were going to happen in the future,
You'd have to know that they were going to be alive at that time, though.
Your luck, you'd end up back in Salem or something, you know?
They'd kill you for the accent.
I would probably work to make something, like maybe medicines that seem simple to us today, and I would like prove it that way, or do things in the way that they were when, like now, back then, do things in different processes until they were like, wow, she's doing a lot of weird stuff, but it's working better.
Witch.
Yeah,
Witch.
I would have been a witch, and then so no matter what I did to prove that I was from the future, I probably wouldn't have made out okay.
I think everybody would, end up being called a witch or something. They would think there's some, demonic workings going on here.
Yeah, so I can't answer that question. I wouldn't be deemed, I would get in trouble.
I don't know. I think that's a tough one. I think either way, you're dead or in jail or in a psychiatric hospital or something.
Well, this is only 200 years ago now.
I don't know. I think 200 years ago, I think they would still.
Well, we've
throw you
talked to
somewhere.
spirits from the 1800s, and we've tried teaching them what phones were, and they literally told us this is witchcraft. So it's not
See?
that far off. So,
Okay.
and then we said, well, what's this that we're talking to you with? And we're like, oh, like that's what they would have deemed witchcraft too.
We got time for one more question, and then
You
we're
wanna ask
done.
a question?
Okay.
One more question.
All right. So
Rapid answer.
you could only eat one thing for all of eternity on the other side. You can only eat one thing. What would it be?
Fried chicken.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, considering I'm already dead, filet mignon,
Okay.
Nice.
nonstop.
I like it.
Fancy.
And speaking of nonstop, this has been a nonstop evening of fun with Cody and Satori. Want to thank you guys so much. I know you just did your last show last Thursday, so not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, you will be back on. Tell everybody very, very quickly what's coming up for the month of October for you guys.
Month of October, we have a lot of library events, and I know we're doing the main Parafest coming up in October. We're going to New Jersey for a couple events down there. Ghost Hunters has started back up again. I believe Satori and myself's next episode is airing on October 15th, which is in a couple of weeks. So definitely tune into that. And if you want to know more, go to paranormalcouple.com, go to the events page, and maybe we're coming to your area, and you get to meet us in person.
Yeah.
Don't forget, guys, to hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe before you exit out. Don't forget the thumbs up and the reminder bell. And thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, too. Thanks for the comments, and you guys were great participators. Cody, Satori, don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great night for the month of October. Let's have fun.